Okay, so this is gonna be a update video on Palworld. So with Palworld, I made a video several months ago on what is Palworld, and I went through the first and second trailer. Since then, two more trailers have come out, as well as a Q&A. Now, the Q&A might take a little while to go through, so that's gonna be after we go through the trailers first. Now, this one is a short, less than a minute one on gameplay. We're gonna watch through it completely, and then I'm gonna go back and pick through it a little bit. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna have the let's turn the music on a little bit. Okay, here we go. So right there, you see the ball animation. Again, I'm gonna pick through it in a minute once this is over. So hunting, you can go hunting the pals. Workstation, probably. So mounts, we've already seen mounted combat, but your mounts can also fight while you're on them. We've also kind of seen that. That's just some combat. So that right there is a boss battle, kind of like a legendary. I think you could fight them solo, or you could fight them with a pal. I don't know if it's mandatory either way or not. Okay, so let's go back real quick. I'm gonna turn off the sound. So right there, that kind of shows. Now this little Mareep. I'm gonna be using actual Pokemon names because I don't remember. They have announced a lot of the names of the pals already. I just don't remember them, right? So you got 20 plus years of Pokemon knowledge. I'm gonna call this a Mareep for right now. So you see the Mareep. Now, obviously, I'm gonna assume that this is a low-leveled Pokemon. So, you know, like a Caterpie, right? So you could probably catch it without having to damage it first, which is why you could see, I don't know if you see my mouse. You kind of see my mouse. You see right there, it's a full health, and they just go in one shot, catch it. Now, here's right here. Oh, my face is in the way. Hang on a second. Whoop, I'm gonna move my face. Oh, you still can't see it. Hang on. Okay, this is going to be a real quick thing. So right there, you can see the Pokeballs, whatever they're going to be called, the Pokeballs, and how many they have. Now, obviously, this is probably from a dev filming for the trailer, so there's 99. Probably that's the maximum amount you can carry. And then you see level 1 Grizzbolt, which is the name of that giant yellow bear Totoro guy that we've been seeing in all the trailers. Right there, like you see a little question mark above its head. So probably it was like, you know, like, oh, what the hell's going on? But you catch it before it's figuring out that you're fighting it. It looks like the health actually went down. Look at that. So it's 99, and then it goes to 98. So hitting them with the Pokeball actually does damage. I don't know if that's something for this build, or if that's gonna be removed later on. But, I mean, that could be something, like, maybe you don't want to lower it to 1 HP, right? Because then if you throw the Pokeball, then it's gonna die. Down here, the 163 out of 160, that's probably, like, their energy bar. You still see the Grizzball over here, and then you kind of see, his, face over here. Sorry, I have this, bottom part cropped out because, I have it, the way I have OBS recording, you'd see the bottom of my tabs, and I didn't want that. So, right here is going to be cropped out a little bit, but you could still see him right here. It's showing him that he's over here, so it's kind of showing him like where the location is in relevance to you. So he's behind the player. This right here, it's got like a little picture of bread. I know you probably can't see because it's small on the screen, but from where I see, it looks like a little picture of bread. So that's probably your hunger level. Now, this is supposed to be a survival game, so there's going to be hunger and everything. Now, we see the ammo right here, but that's because you have the gun out. Here, I mean, she's got the gun in her hand, but she's not actually, like, using it. So I don't know why the ammo count is still right in front. That seems like it'd be annoying in terms of, like, HUD. So I think that should be, moved to the side, right? Now, the hunger bar, you can't see it because, unfortunately, it is cropped out, but I do see it is lower than what it was in the last scene, so that has to be the hunger, and they're just keeping it well-fed. What else? So, again, behind my head that you can't see, there's another, Pokemon there. It's the deer that you see later on in the trailer, and then the Pokeballs are at 87. So, this is, the, building mechanic right here. So it looks like it's just normal crafting, you have the resources, you select where you want to build it. Uh, Sometimes in survival games, as long as you take the time to build it, to place it is instant. This might be you instead of building it and then placing it, you're building it on the spot, which is why it's taking a couple of seconds. Now, might be something that's like a generic item piece. See, it looks like it basically will be your PC, right? For Pokemon players. Yeah, you got your computer, your PC here, and then that's like where all of the Pokemon actually are. Instead of them being whisked away somewhere else, you actually physically see them. And plus, we've seen gameplay footage of them like lined up in a row, because we've seen this already in other trailers. So probably you can have only so many in each box, and you can progressively make it larger every time, like as you progress in the game. Or, well, you can probably have bigger ones, but probably until you get those bigger ones, you can have them side by side, and maybe you can organize them. I think we saw that in one trailer, like one of these boxes had just the Mareeps, one had just the Boars, or whatever they are. One had just, like, the little Piplup guys. So there's that. There's hunting the deer. You can see the arrows right there. So, obviously, you can only have one arrow on your bow at a time, and then 53 arrows. I'm not sure what the green bar is for. But yeah, they completely one-shotted that. Now, over on this side here, you see the different levels of your like pals, right? Of your little Pokemon. All of them level 1. Again, because this is just a demo trailer, right? But I wonder if that's all of them that are with you right now, but they're in their Pokeball. But you can only have one out at a time. I don't know if you can only have one out at a time or all of them out at a time. Because right here you see, like, they come and, help you build. Maybe they're out like in where your base would be, and if they're relatively in the area, they can come and help you build, unless you specifically assign them to. I don't know. This is all like speculative, because we don't really know how it's going to work yet. Oh, look over here. See this? Press X, which obviously means that we're gonna have controller support. Get on my head. So you can tell them to sit on your head, which we've seen gameplay footage of this little guy here sitting on her shoulder, on her head, with a machine gun, right? So, now that just looks like a crafting bench. It doesn't look like there's anything specific about it. It looks probably like just a standard crafting bench. Obviously mounts, so there's that. This little guy's like, oh, crap. You see a little Piplup hiding over here. There's more over here. There's another deer over here. So probably these are all common Pokemon. Probably the deer is probably be more rare than these little guys. So mounted combat, flying. So yeah, see how you got like these two? So I don't know if you can have this guy out at the same time as this one, because they're both being in use. So this one's riding on your head while this one is doing, slash fly or whatever. HM2, so fly. So that might be a reason of why there's multiple out at once. If they're only gonna limit you to how many you can have out at once. Unless you can have all of them out at once, but I don't know if they'd let us do that. I think there's going to be some sort of a limit. We don't know. So that's summoning your Pokemon guy to attack this Quagsire dude. Oh, wait. They actually have the name of him. Hang on. What's his name? Relaxaurus. And then, the deer is called Eikthyr deer. So, I mean, Eikthyr, that's the name of, well, first of all, that's the name that they use for the deer boss in Valheim. So that probably, I'm not as sure as to the name itself, Eikthyr, but Eikthyr is a deer here and a deer there. It probably is some sort of Nordic deer god or something. But Relaxaurus, that's kind of funny. And then right here, so we already have confirmed that there are boss battles or legendary pals, and this one right here seems to be one of those. Or it's just a very rare, very powerful one that you just can't catch right away. You probably have to battle it like a normal Pokemon battle in order to tame it. But what makes me not think that what makes me think that it's a boss is right here. It says Guardian of the Dark Sun, and then it has a big HP pool. So that's what's making me think that it's more of a boss battle or a super rare spawn rather than just a normal creature. Now, obviously, you have mechanics. You have an AOE field that shows you where the damage is going to be, kind of like an MMO, World of Warcraft style. Here again, you have looks like a saddle, something probably to sit on top of the Grisbolt, the Totoro guy. He's got a weapon, you've got a weapon, and you're both firing. That's great. All right, so now I'm going to be moving on to the next trailer. Okay, so this trailer I actually have not seen. It came out a couple of weeks ago, but for some reason I missed it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and watch it fully. I might comment it here and there, but we'll go through it again like we did the last one. Alright, so that's obviously like another type of legendary right there. Oh, is that a Meganium? Oh, we saw that guy in the first trailer. Okay, there's the Anubis guy we just saw. Probably stuff like that we've already seen in other trailers. I'll skip. Oh my god! Okay, that's a new type of one that we've not seen. That one too. It's like a big mammoth. Dragostrope. Dude, that's a Meganium. We've seen that before with the, What the fuck? Oh my god, I fucking love these trailers. And then we've already seen this before. Well, not that exact scene, but... Oh, wow. Oh, you're fucked. Oh, that's another, boss. And you're out of ammo. Oh, wow, you can mass capture? Well, then there has to be a reason to have... Oh, wow. There has to be a reason to mass capture them. Pocket pair. Okay, so, let's go... Oh my god, I love these trailers. Okay, so... Oh, wait, go back a second. Hang on. Yeah, I wanted to try to... Okay, so this looks like that Gyarados dude we see, like, in the first, trailer. This is going by too fast. I can't see what that is. That's another deer dude. And then we go up here. Now, this guy, obviously, look at this guy. He's got to be some sort of, like, legendary dude, right? He's got to be some sort of legendary. Now, I don't know if there's going to be levels of legendary. Like, maybe that... Because we've seen the Anubis guy quite often. So maybe he's a low... Like, out of the group of super rare or legendary creatures, he's probably lower on the tier or more common out of the group. This guy's probably going to be like more rare. Same thing with the whale that we saw in a earlier trailer. I don't think we see all the whale in this one. Okay, so more of these boar dudes. Yeah, these are going to be like common dudes. You got the Mareep. You got a little chicken. He just looks like a chicken. There's nothing special about him. He just looks like a chicken. You got a sleeping Totoro guy over here. This dude, he's got to be a Meganium ripoff. He's got the same eyes. He's got the flower. Come on. And then there's a guy right over here. It looks kind of like a horse. So like a unicorn. Like, see the... So this has got to be like an electric Rapidash, right? And then we've seen this already. What's this guy? Dig Toys. So it's a Blastoise Bowser that digs. So we've seen this already in a another trailer, but obviously this is another location. So I don't think we've seen much of the desert, and unless we have, and I just don't remember. But we've seen a lot of forest and water, right? This is a desert, which we haven't seen a lot of. Now, you see a lot of ore right here, so probably in the desert region, we're going to have an abundance of ore, while maybe in another location, there's an abundance of another resource, right? Now, this is coming out orange, and it kind of looks orange in the vein, so that's probably copper. So, there's probably going to be multiple types of ore, so that coming out orange, that's obviously got to be copper. It's not really giving me an indication. Okay, we're going to pass over that because we already saw fighting the Anubis. Right here, that looks like another player. It could be just a recruited NPC. I don't know. I think it would have given it away if there was a name up top, unless that option is turned off. But you can... This is, again, a survival game that you could play with players on servers. So that could very well be another player. I just don't know because there's no name to indicate whether it is or not. Back in the desert, again, now we've already seen this type of gameplay. They're just firing at the... what they call the dig toys. the Bowser again, the Blastoise Bowser. That's something new that we haven't seen yet, even though we've seen that level of gameplay before. We're gonna skip over that. We've already seen these guys. Now these are gonna be like the Team Rocket of this game. Now this is something we haven't seen. We've seen you use the pals as weapons before, but this is a whole new level. It just goes flying. Now, for people that, because I did talk about this in my first video, for people who don't want to do this, right? Now, this is completely optional. The devs have already confirmed that you don't have to abuse them if you don't want to. That's just an element of gameplay. If you choose to do that, you can have that option. But you can be completely Ash Ketchum, every Pokemon is my friend, save them, protect them, all of that. You could even join the Team Rocket, right? You could even be the bad guy, or you could be in the middle and do this shit and fight them, but also be cruel to the animals. You could do all of that if you wish. I'm gonna go back a little bit here because that's something right there we haven't seen quite yet. Oh, this guy too. You can't really see him because of my Is there a way? Can I turn this off? 1 second. Okay, I kind of turned off, but you still have the letters. Anyway, so you can see him right there, and then you see this guy here. This guy's kind of like a llama. I don't know. He kind of looks like a big llama, and then you got like a Eevee right here. So we got what, oh god, what's the fire evolution of Eevee called? Flareon. That's totally a Flareon, and that's an Eevee. I mean, look at that. Now this guy is awesome. I want one of these. Giant like mammoth with all the like trees and stone. It kind of looks like a Donphan, right? Because Donphan has like anklets like this guy does. Now here's another boss battle. So this guy actually has an Anubis, and they're fighting this guy. So okay, so looking at this, well, obviously just by the design of the Anubis, it's probably gonna be a ground type. Well, this one, Dragostroke, Lord of Darkness, and then you see all this. So obviously a dark type Pokemon. So it looks like they're attempting to capture it, but it's nearly full health, 1300 out of 1500. So that's probably not gonna work out as of right there. Oh, look at that. What does that say? Dingsum? Dinosum. For some reason, so it's a dino, like, it's a dinosaur, some, like, blossom. That's where the name is obviously going to come from. But you know what? It actually looks like a blossom from Pokemon. Blossom. But it still looks like a Meganium. I'm still calling it a Meganium. Oh, wait, hang on a second. So there's the capturing again. So that's new right there. So, oh, okay, I see what this is. So, this is basically this game's version of the ball rattling, right? In Pokemon, when you go to capture a Pokemon and it rattles. 1, 2, 3, bing, capture. That's going to be this game's version. So look at this. So 25%, so 25% to capture rate, but then it, does the shake 1, now it's 50%, shake 2, now it's at 75%, and then it's 100. First time capture, so it's going to obviously tell you. And that's the first time we see a level 7, because everything's been level 1, probably from the dev build for demo reasons. But I wonder how high the levels can go. Probably level 100, like Pokemon. Now, we've seen that before, like, you could have the, like, Huskies taking you. But this is funny. Toma. So I don't know if that's comedic for the trailer, or if that means you actually have to watch out for collision. Because not only would that be funny as hell, but I could also see that being very annoying. Like, if you just want to get from A to B, and you keep losing your dude, that'd be kind of annoying, but it also means that there's collision that you have to watch out for, and it can affect you. I just love that! That's it. Again, we've seen stuff like this already where the bigger ones can hold like giant rocket launchers and Gatling guns. Now, we've only seen the Grisbolt with a Gatling gun so far in all the different trailers, the electric Totoro guy. So I wonder if each one can only hold one type of weapon. So maybe this guy is the rocket launcher guy, while the other one is the machine gunist, right? So maybe they can only hold certain types, unless that's just how it happened to be. It was coincidence, and they can hold whatever it is as long as it's a large weapon, because they're larger, so they hold larger weapons. Now this is something right here. So, oh wait, never mind. I was thinking it was the mass capture. Never mind. So we've already seen stuff like this. I'm gonna just pass through it. That's different. Now you actually, that's your player, obviously, got captured by the Team Rocket dudes. Now we've seen before footage of these guys like torturing the pals. And obviously the character fighting them and in their bases and everything. This is the first time we're seeing them actually captured in a defeated pose. So I wonder how that's gonna play out, because I'm trying to think of some games. Maybe it would be okay. So there's a couple of games that do this. Think of Ocarina of Time, when you have to sneak into the Gerudo Palace, and if you get caught, they sound the whistle or whatever, and you put your hands up, and you end up in a jail cell, and then you have to escape out of the jail cell and then try to continue what you were doing. So other games obviously do that too. Maybe that's what this is. So maybe when you're sneaking around, like it has to be a sneak mission instead of a Rambo mission, or unless they overpower you and that's a defeated, right? Instead of you blacked out or you whited out, it's captured when they beat you in the battles. So probably they'll take you and put you in a jail cell, and then you're gonna have to try to escape and then continue on with the level. That's what I'm predicting from that. But that is kind of cool. That they do that. Now this is strange right here. So I don't know if this is just a defeated cinematic. Like maybe all these guys outnumbered them and they just lost. Which, if that's the case, having different like not cinematics, but what's the word I'm looking for? Videos, cutscenes. Having different cutscenes for being defeated would actually be very like, that'd be cool. I mean, very, very few games actually do that. Very few. So maybe this person and their little guy was fighting all these guys, but they just couldn't win. So just like, hang on, just like we saw here, where they probably outnumbered and you hit 0 HP, but instead of being, blacked out or whited out, it's defeated, right? Maybe that's your defeated scene. They defeated you, so now it's doing a cutscene just like we saw when you were defeated. Obviously, a new boss battle, so Queen of the Lake as a robe. So, there's that, and then you're out of ammo. Okay, right here, this is what I was thinking. Rush ore, so it rushes you when it's a boar. Oh, okay, so, the mass capture. Now, that's actually a really cool mechanic. However, I'm not sure why you would want that, unless, okay, so I'm thinking of it now. So, again, remember how I was saying how you could choose to be evil instead of them being your friends, you take a more neutral approach, or maybe you're a bad guy and you're poaching them. So, you could probably, sell them off to other players. They have confirmed you can, kill, cook, and eat the pals, which technically in Pokemon, that is in the lore, you just don't do it in-game. Actually, no, in the earlier games, you do have that. Slowpoke tails, anybody remember that? So, also, there's a scene, I think, in the original series of them eating a Magikarp or something. I don't remember. But, it is in the lore of Pokemon. You just don't see it. But, that is something that they confirmed you can do in this game. So, probably you would want to catch all these guys for just, a lot of meat to eat, feed your pals or whatever. Because we have seen pals eating other pals. So, there's that. What else? Probably the more humanoid ones, you would want to catch them to, be builders or slaves if you choose that route, or just have them around to build if you want to build up structures. So I'm now thinking there is a multitude of reasons. Or this could be another reason here. You can have them all on defense on your base, so have them all unmounted. So if something attacks your base, you can have some sort of protection. So that'd be, yeah, like here. So this is probably like a, because we saw behind them there, it was a base. So I don't know if that's your base or if that's a, structure in the world that it's an event that you have to defend it. So, but if it was your base, there are a multitude of, survival games where you have to defend your base against waves of enemies. Conan Exiles, for example, has the purge system. What else? Valheim has the system where they all try to attack your base. So this is probably that game. This game's version of it. So that's probably your base back there. These guys are your guys. That's your defense system, and you're protecting it against whatever the fuck these guys are trying to rush you and attack your base. Now, how we trigger that is up for debate. So I don't know how we would trigger that. So, in Grounded, they recently had an update where the more you attack a certain type of bug, then those bugs would come and attack your base. Conan Exiles is anything you do will build up a meter. The more advanced stuff that you do, whether it's killing a boss or whatever, builds up the meter faster. So it could be a multitude of things of why this could trigger and attack your base. We don't know just yet. Obviously, this is going to be a super big legendary dude. And that's the end right there. Alright, so now we're going to go through the Q&A section. So this is right here, their Discord. If you want more information on this game, please follow their Discord. The devs. Now, the devs are not natural English speakers. They can communicate, but you might see a lot of grammar issues and typos and stuff. And that's just because they are not native English speakers, and that's, you know, that's fine. I'm just letting you know that you might have some issues with what they're, like, understanding what they're saying. So, right here, this is the head of the team. We are going to be going through now, I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm going to just kind of go through what I think is important. However, some of these, I'm going to have to just tell you the gist of what the question is, because they get cut off because they are the replies, right? So, we're going to start at the top. Now, the first question is, will there be rarities for the pals? Yes, of course. Have the hardware requirements changed? Probably yes, we'll check it. So, probably at the end of their current build, or even up until the alpha or beta or early access or whatever it's called, there will be system requirement changes for this game. Because they have upgraded the engine to, I think, Unreal 5 since its launch, since this was announced like a couple years ago. Once captured, can pals die, or will they just paint? Once captured, can pals die, or will they just faint? I really want the pals to die permanently sometimes, but don't worry, they're tough. So that means your pals are not going to die like in Ark or in Conan Exiles. They're just going to faint, and you can revive them. This one down here also confirms that fainted will be implemented. Well, they say also be implemented, so maybe it depends on what you do. Maybe they can die, but most likely they'll just faint. Will the game have a story and storyline progression? And he says a short storyline. So a lot of survival games, this is probably going to be a more sandboxy game, so you go and do whatever you want, you build your own story. But if you want a world story to follow in the game itself, there's going to be something there for you to do, but that's not the main focus of the game. The main focus is for you to have your own adventure, to develop your own storyline. So there's that. So this guy here, so the first person was whether there's going to be different rarities. This one is asking if there's going to be any variants, such as shinies. And they said thinking, which means they're thinking about it. Which I think that would be great to have different ones. I would love to have like a gold one, right? And like, oh, that's super rare, it's gold. And that would help people with the trading, the value. It would be beneficial to have that in the game if they choose to do it. Will the multiplayer have dedicated servers I can run myself? Should be. So yes, you can have your own dedicated server, just like other survival games. So then somebody asked right here, will the game come to other platforms such as Xbox? We'd like to support other platforms as well, but for now there is no information. So probably in the future this will come to consoles, but for now it's going to be PC only. So in a few of the trailers we saw pals fuse. Will all be able to fuse? If so, which pals could they be set up with anyone? All should be able to fuse. Some pals might fuse to something special. So in earlier trailers we saw like an electric type and a fire type. They fused together and it turned into something that looked like the fire type, but it had the electricity of the other type, stuff like that. So he's saying all of them will be able to, and in certain circumstances, if you take two certain ones and fuse them together, they'll come out with something special. So that's gonna be a lot of trial and error to try to find all of the different variations, all the rare ones, right? Is there building like Ark, Survival Evolved, or pre-bit building? You could build like other games. So yes, building is in this game. We've already seen it. It's a sandbox game, so you can build probably wherever you want as well. Maybe there might be limitations within towns or something, but you can build. Somebody asked if there's going to be romance options for your characters, maybe with NPCs that are not bandits. He doesn't really answer the question here, but they say that there are female pal, so breeding is in the future, and I think we have seen that with like a little egg and it hatches in the trailer, so we can breed the pals, but he didn't really answer the question as if there's going to be romance for your character. Right here, real quick, he confirmed that you will be able to capture boss pals, which are like the legendaries, which we've seen in the trailers, but that's just confirming big boss ones we will be able to capture, though it might, take a little bit of work. So right here, somebody asked, co-op, multiplayer, or even PvP. Many players enjoy PvP on Ark. We'd like to follow it, but firstly, we have to provide simple co-op. So right now, the game is, it looks like it's single player. They're implementing a co-op, and they want the co-op to be efficient and work properly before they implement PvP servers. So there's that, which I think that's completely fine. They want to make sure they can handle one person before they handle thousands of people, right? So, I mean, that's completely fine, but they are thinking about having a full-on PvP server. So I'm not exactly sure what he's saying here. So the person's asking if the game will be randomly generated or pre-generated. He's saying it's going to be pre-generated, which basically means a handmade map, rather than what's the word I'm looking for? Rather than a like dynamically spawn map. I can't think of the exact word right now, but instead of it being randomized, this is a handcrafted map. Something else he says here is pals sometimes randomly spawn, or pals sometimes randomly spawns in development. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm going to guess that pals can randomly spawn in the various locations. So if it's like, so something I want, this is I'm gonna trail off a little bit off of that. Something I want in this game is just like in Ark, where certain creatures have a chance to spawn in certain biomes, but they can spawn wherever they want within that biome, and maybe there's a chance they do or don't spawn. So basically more dynamic spawning, rather than Conan Exiles, where it's got a more MMO approach where the same creature spawns in the exact same location every single time, because then it gets boring. You know where all the creatures are gonna be location-wise. If it was more like Ark, where you actually have to go out and hunt, but you know it spawns in the desert, or maybe it has a chance to spawn in the forest, then you go to those locations, but you still have to kind of search, and you never know what's around the corner. You could turn the corner, and there's a big-ass, I'm gonna go for Ark, but big ass T-Rex, right? And you're like, oh shit, and you have to run from the T-Rex. I like more, dynamic spawning that's like that. It makes it more engaging rather than boring, right? How many players will the multiplayer allow? As many as possible, at least. I'd personally like to support more than 16 players on a dedicated server. So he's saying as many as possible, but then he says 16 players on a dedicated server. I'm not so sure. So 16 players on a dedicated server is way too little. Now, if it was a non-dedicated server, like somebody's private server that they're paying for, they could set the rules however they want, right? But I think it should allow at least anywhere from 50 to 70, maybe 100 people on at a time. Now, that's not capping it to people make that many players and then it's locked forever. I'm saying on at a time, which it does mean that during big influxes of players, you're going to have to sit in a queue in order to even get on. But having more players on a dedicated server is better, while non-dedicated servers rather can pick and choose when or how many people come on, right? So I think dedicated servers should have more than 16 players. I mean, look at Valheim. Valheim, the most you could have was, what, 10 players? People didn't like that, and quickly mods were made to allow, like, 50 players on a server. So they really do need to up that number. So somebody asked here, is collaboration with Game Freak planned? I'd love to play this game, but with Pokemon instead. And then he says, Big Brother is at the door. So I don't know what the hell that means. I just thought it was funny, so I included that in the video. So somebody says here, so this is interesting. Can you send captured pals out for gathering resources similar to Monster Hunter Companions? In test. If it's cool, we will merge it. So they actually are testing the theory that, let's say you have the little Piplup guy, right? You could tell him to go farm herbs for you, and he'll go out and farm herbs, and after a couple hours, he'll come back with a basket. So, they're testing it right now, and I think that's good. Now, I think there also has to be a limit. I don't think that they should be able to get the rarest resource, but maybe the lowered rarity, pals, right? You know, like the little Piplup guy that you see everywhere. Those are obviously common low-leveled ones. Have them be able to get like the easy herbs and the copper, or not even copper, or I'm just saying like something easy, low-leveled materials, while a middle of the line, like the big turtle guy that we saw, the Bowser guy that we saw, he obviously is efficient at gathering metal, and because he's a bigger creature, he could probably get middle of the line materials, right? Now, again, I think that's good for the rarity matches rarity, but there has to be a cutoff. I don't want you to have a legendary and be able to get suddenly the best materials out there. I think that needs to be capped at middle to upper middle progression, while the upper progression stuff you need to go out and gather yourself. So somebody asks here, how many species are you planning at launch? He says more than 100, 150, 151. Just like the original Pokemon, 151. Somebody asks, will there be in-game purchases? Never thought about it. So, as of right now, no in-game store. No real-world money purchases. Will there be potential for mod support via Steam Workshop? I'd love it. So he wants mod support for Steam. I'm telling you, if you want your game to survive past launch, mods are a must. No matter how fun the game is. Ark, Conan, even Skyrim. Skyrim is fun as hell as a vanilla game. Minecraft is fun as hell as a vanilla game, but eventually, people have done everything. Mods help keep the game fresh. If you have an open mod support, you're gonna have drastically extended the life of your game. That's why games like Minecraft, like Skyrim, Ark, they're still going because of the mod support. So definitely, they need to have that. And I think eventually, now I don't think at launch, but eventually allow it for people to make their own maps. Conan Exiles just recently allowed other people to make modded maps on top of the already amazing mods that are in the game. And I'm thinking it's bringing new life into the game, because we have, I have a whole series right now on my channel of me exploring a map that looks like Kalimdor from World of Warcraft, but it's Conan Exiles, and it's fucking amazing. So they need to have mod support, is what I'm trying to say. Are there plans for continued content releases, updates after the official release, or will it be restricted to bug fixes and patches? We'd like to continue updates. So they are planning to continue updating the game, whether it's through DLC or just patches or whatever. But new content will be post-launch. We saw a castle in the trailers. Will there be pre-existing cities or villages, and will they be populated with NPCs? Some buildings are pre-existing. By the way, V Rising Castle. By the way, V Rising Castle is really interesting for me. So, but what he's saying is, there will be pre-generated villages, castles, not just your own, right? Which I think is great. Something that it's in Conan Exiles, but I feel like it needs to be better built, well developed. I can't think of the words right now, but there are NPC cities in the different maps of Conan Exiles, but there's really no reason to go there other than aesthetics purposes. The vendors are shit. They don't really do anything. And Ark, I really think, should have human NPCs with villages that you could trade and stuff like that, and you're the only human unless you play multiplayer, right? If you play solo, you're the only human. So having pre-existing villages, castles populated with NPCs is a plus for me in terms of the RPG of this game. Now, whether you do things in the village, quests, vendors, that's again up for debate. But let's keep going. Somebody asked here, is it going to be fully open world or instanced island based? Now, the reason they asked that because their previous game that they made, Craftopia, is instance based. All of the different biomes and levels are all instance based. It's not open world at all. Here he's confirming it is fully open world. Now, I don't know if he did ask if there's instances, instance based, but I think that's pertaining to the world itself. We don't know if there'll be instances like dungeons, or if you go into a building, or maybe just you know, something more grand where it requires an instance off. Because even in Conan Exiles, like the bigger dungeons, not just normal caves, are instance off, and I completely think that's fine for like the bigger dungeons, while smaller caves are in the world. Now, he just says open world, so that doesn't really tell us about any dungeons or buildings or anything, but the world itself is open. Will there be a difficulty setting for so you can make the game more challenging for yourself and friends? Should have. So there's going to be multiple difficulties you could pick from. Probably a normal official dedicated server will be a normal setting. Maybe there might be a hard mode out there for officials, but then you could pick what you want for your own servers that you host. Somebody asked how many elemental types there are. 6. So he's saying that there's 6, but so far we've seen water, fire, dark, ground, lightning, grass. Unless I said grass. So that's probably the 6. If I guess them right, that is. I'm just guessing from what I've seen. Okay, so remember how I said earlier you could probably defend your base from raids using the pals and everything with the turrets you see out front from that trailer? So somebody has here, I wonder if we could take the pals and have them do a lot of things inside of the player-made fort, even have them be used to defend it, or will it be like Craftopia where we could just make whatever and not have to worry about raids and whatnot? They say in development, if it's too complicated, it is too stressful about the player raids. Okay, so they are developing, as of right now, a way to defend your base from attacks. That's what I'm reading, because they did ask if the pals could do stuff inside of the base, but then they ended it with the defense, and that's what he's answering. So I'm not sure if they're going to be doing stuff, but it is in development that they are crafting a defense mechanic for your base, but whether it sees the light of day is unknown. And then what I said right here about the Pokeball is confirmed. How does the capture system work? Was that shown in the recent trailer? He says 50%, 70%, 100%, gotcha, or sometimes it failed. So just like I said with the ding, 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 just like Pokemon, that's basically what it is. Can you be a part of the villain team like Team Rocket or Galactic? Up to you. I hope you were a beautiful mind. But I've already discussed this in the previous video I made, as well as earlier in this video, which is at right now 47 minutes long. But yeah, you can choose if you want to be good, evil, or neutral. It's all up to you. You could play it however you want. They've already confirmed that months ago. Okay, so character customization, I feel like it was going to be a given, but yes, confirm you can customize your own character. Somebody is asking what the scale of the world will be. He can't describe the exact size, but he thinks it's going to be large. Like, that's what he's saying. It is a large world. He just cannot describe the size of the world. Somebody asked here, which I think is a good question, will we have multiple save files so you can have multiple different characters and worlds and so? And he says, yes, should have. Somebody asked if you can torture in this game. I love it. This guy is great. I mean, he's funny and he's a bit of a troll too, so I do like this head developer guy. So somebody asked, is there an enchantment system like in Craftopia? No, Palworld already has a lot of systems, but I'd like to squeeze the pal to get an essence. So even though he says that again, because like I just said, he's a little bit of a comedian and he's a bit of a troll. But no, there's going to be no enchanting in Palworld. Again, so this is another troll response. I think it's kind of funny, but it is a legitimate question that he doesn't really answer, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Somebody asks, we know you can employ pals to work for us, but can we do this similar to human NPCs? His response was, I would really like to throw a ball at humans. You too, right? So again, it's a bit of a troll response, but he doesn't really answer yes or no as to whether we can employ human NPCs. So I guess that's gonna have to be a wait and see. Somebody asked here, will players be able to nickname the pals? Yes, you can. It's important. Notice, Blaster is crying somehow. Blaster is breaking feed box. Blaster looks strange, as if it wants to kill. So, yes, you can name your pals, and it's going to be almost a necessity because they're going to be there's going to be notifications for when your pals are doing something or if they're expressing emotions. So that's going to help you differentiate between the different pals, especially if you have more than one type. So that is that's basically two answers right there in one. Yes, you can name them, but also you're going to have notifications as to what they are doing or feeling, which is always good. I think I like that a lot. Alright, so that's the end of the Q&A. There is a lot more here, but a lot of it were either repeat questions or questions that were already answered just by watching the trailers alone. So, like, stuff we already know from watching the trailers. That's a lot right there. If you do want to read all of this, they do have a Discord link, Pocket Pair Craftopia. This page right here, the Q&A event, is a bit bugged. When you first look at it, the responses, like the questions asked, will not load. You have to scroll all the way up to the top of the page until you reach the end. That way, all the questions can load in the Discord, and then as you go back down to where the Q&A actually starts, then you'll actually, see, oh my god, then you'll be able to see the questions asked to the response. So that's a little bit of a bug and a way to get around that bug, but other than that, that's your update for Palworld. Oh, real quick, I did forget to mention, this is something important. So originally, Palworld was planned to be released, at least in the early access, in 2022. They have confirmed and delayed the game to 2023. Now, they said they were thinking about it. It was, I think, one of the questions here. I passed over it for some reason. I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it. They were thinking about it, but as of I don't know, a couple weeks ago, if you looked at the Steam page, it now says 2023. So the game is delayed. There is no confirmed date as of right now. But I think that's completely fine. This is an ambitious game. As he said in one of the answers here, that there's already too many systems to add new systems. They got a lot on their plate right now, and they really need to work on what they have. So it's good, you know what I mean? Because we've already had games in the last couple of years where they promise the moon, and we get a PS1 game that's shit, right? You know what game I'm talking about. But there's other games, obviously, that have come out just like that. So, anyway, that's the update for Palworld. This is almost an hour-long recording, though I'm going to be editing out a lot of the pauses, so probably a little bit less than that. So, anyway, if you want to see more Palworld updates, survival game updates, I know I do a lot of World of Warcraft stuff, but I do want to get more into the survival game stuff because I just have a passion for survival games. I will be covering them as they come out with news. This one's a little bit old, but I still think it's relatively new enough, especially with the newer trailer, that this is still relevant. So yeah, if you want to see any of that, please hit subscribe. Any games you want me to cover, if you have suggestions for me, you can leave it in the comment section below. Please like the video, because even though I'm still a small channel, I am now starting to get the trolls that hate watch me, and I get a total of 1 dislike per video. That means if you do not like this video, that 1 dislike will make it so I have a 100% dislike rate. So please like it, because then you can offset the 1 troll who hate watches me. I don't know why, I don't know who it is, but I know you're out there and I see you, okay? I see you. So please, everyone watching me, please fight back against this troll and like the video. And I'll see you next time.